In Switzerland, every child receives pocket money on the same day each week, not as a reward, not tied to chores, not negotiable. It arrives like a utility bill, expected, fixed, and structural. And before that child spends a single coin, the money is already divided. 3 envelopes, 3 jobs, 1 rule that never changes. Swiss children raised inside this system enter adulthood saving at nearly double the rate of their peers across the rest of Europe, not because their families were wealthier, not because money was discussed more, because the system made the decision before desire ever arrived. You might be thinking, this is just teaching kids to save. Every parent tries that. And you're right. Every parent tries. But most parents teach money as a value, as a lesson, as something to discuss at the dinner table. Swiss parents teach money as a structure. There is a difference between telling a child that saving matters and building a system where saving happens automatically. Before the child makes a single decision, the Swiss did not teach the concept. They built the mechanism, and the mechanism did the teaching for them. But what exactly was the mechanism? And why did it work when conversations about money never did? Swiss families have practiced Sackgeld for generations. The word means pocket money. But in Switzerland, it has never meant simply handing a child some coins. Sackgeld is a framework. Every Swiss child receives a fixed amount, the same day each week, without negotiation, without conditions attached to chores or behavior. The money arrives like a fact of life, not a reward, not a gift. And immediately, before the child touches it freely, the money is divided. 3 envelopes, 3 categories, 3 jobs, 1 system, 1 envelope for spending, 1 for saving, 1 for giving. The child does not decide how much goes into each envelope in the moment. The allocation rule was decided in advance, by the family, together, once. The decision has already been made. Behavioral economists call this pre-commitment. The brain cannot override a rule it agreed to before desire arrived. All the child does is follow the system. Here is what most American parents do instead. A child asks for money. The parent gives it. The child spends it. The child is standing in a store aisle 12 minutes later. The money is gone. Nothing to show for it. The lesson the child learns, without anyone intending it, is that money exists to be spent as soon as it arrives. Psychologists call this present bias. The brain assigns dramatically higher value to something available right now than to the same thing available later. When a child receives money with no structure, present bias wins every time. The spending is not a character flaw. It is the only logical response to a system with no friction, no delay, no category. You gave the child money. You gave the child no reason to do anything other than spend it. Structure first. Or the money is already gone. There are 3 reasons the Sackgeld system works, and none of them are about willpower. First, pre-commitment eliminates the decision at the worst possible moment. The hardest moment to save money is when you are holding it and looking at something you want. The Sackgeld system removes that moment entirely. The allocation rule exists before the money arrives. The envelopes are waiting. The child does not decide whether to save. They follow a structure they already agreed to. Willpower was never asked to show up. The system made willpower unnecessary. Second, physical separation creates psychological ownership of each category. When money sits in one pool, every franc is competing with every other franc for the same purpose. 3 separate envelopes give each franc a job. The saving envelope is not money the child is holding back from spending. It is money that belongs somewhere already. Research in behavioral economics shows that physically separated resources are processed as categorically different, even when the total amount is identical. The child is not practicing restraint. The envelope already decided. The child simply followed. Third, Micro-practice of delayed gratification in childhood reshapes the brain's reward circuitry by adulthood. The Stanford Marshmallow Study introduced this idea to the West, but Swiss culture embedded it as daily habit long before any research confirmed why it worked. A child who waits 3 weeks to buy something with their saving envelope is not waiting because they are disciplined. They are waiting because the system made it the only option. And in that waiting, the neural pathway between desire and immediate action gradually weakens. The instinct to spend everything now does not disappear. It becomes quieter. By adulthood, the pause before spending is automatic. It does not feel like resistance. It simply feels like how money works. Here is how to start the Sackgeld system tonight. With any child between 4 and 16, step 1. Tonight, choose a fixed amount and a fixed day. Sunday works, Friday works, pick one and never move it. In Switzerland, the standard is roughly 1 franc per year of age per week. A 7-year-old receives 7 francs. Adapt the number to your currency. The amount matters less than the consistency. Step 2. Tomorrow, prepare 3 physical envelopes. Label them Ausgeben. Spend, spar and save, gebe and give. The German labels matter. They signal this is a system, not a suggestion. Step 3. On the first money day, sit with the child and set the allocation percentages together. A common Swiss starting split: 60% spending, 30% saving, 10% giving. 60% for spending teaches that money is also for enjoyment. 30% for saving teaches patience. 10% for giving teaches that money has weight beyond the self. Write the rule on the envelope. It is now the rule. It does not change weekly. Step 4. Do not intervene with the spending envelope. If the child buys something you consider unwise, stay quiet. The learning happens in the consequence, not in the correction. Within 3 months, the saving envelope will contain something the child is proud of. That pride is the system working. You stop watching your child's money vanish in 20 minutes and feeling like the conversation never landed. You start watching them check their saving envelope before they ask for anything. That shift, from spending by default to allocating by design, is not a childhood habit. It is the foundation of every financially stable adult you have ever met. The envelopes are small. What they build is not. Tonight, find 3 envelopes. Write the labels. The system starts this Friday. 3 envelopes, 1 rule, 1 Friday afternoon, and money never feels the same again.